And you, your morning announcement.
On WDMS News.
Today's Tuesday, May 24th, 2016, B-Day. Today in history.
Look at this day in history. May 24th.
In 1830, America's first passenger railroad service ran from Baltimore to Elliott Mills, Maryland. On this day in 1846, William Morris tried out his new invention, the telegraph, tapping out a message that read, "What hath God wrought." In 2001, the Democrats won control of the Senate for the first time since 1994, when James Jeffords of Vermont quit the Republicans and went independent. And on this day in 1883, two great towns were bridged. J.A. Roebling was hired to connect New York City to Brooklyn, but he died from an injury just months into the project. His son, Washington, took over, then was crippled from an on-site accident. Finally, after 14 years, the Brooklyn Bridge opened for business. And that's this day in history.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the DMS Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am safe, I am respectful, and I am responsible at Dundalk Middle School and in my community.
Please be seated.
Today's math problem is, this rectangular prism vase has a square base with a side length of 13 centimeters and a height of 18 centimeters. What is its volume? Be sure to let your math teacher know if you can solve it.
Now here's Rachel with today's weather.
It was 55 degrees this morning. There may be thunderstorms today, and we should reach a high of this afternoon of 79 degrees. Here's the weather for the end of the week. Now for the sports report. The Orioles had off yesterday as their head coach, Buck Showalter, celebrated his 60th birthday. They had interesting games this past weekend against the Angels. Yes, that is a cow you see on the ball field. They had a cow milking contest before Friday's game. Our very own Dylan Bundy won. Now back to you, Riley and Demetrius.
Thank you, Rachel. Now for the word of the day. The topic for this week's words of the day is the prefix D, which means down or opposite. Today our word is demented. Whoever did this must have been demented. No sane person would have acted in such way. Can you determine what demented means? Once again, today's word of the day is demented.
A cast and crew party for Peter Pan has been changed to Thursday, May 26th from 3 until 4 p.m. All members of the Peter Pan cast and crew are invited to attend and celebrate their spectacular performance. See Miss Carter, Miss Denson, or Mr. Kirby for details. There will be a late bus provided that day to ride home. A permission slip is not needed to attend the celebration.
Here is our college spotlight interview.
What college did you go to?
I went to Stevenson University.
What degree do you have?
I have an associate's science degree in environmental science, and I have my bachelor's degree in middle school math and science education.
What made you decide to go to that field?
I've always really liked science ever since I was a kid, and I have a bunch of siblings, so I thought it might be interesting to teach.
What is your favorite memory of college?
Going to West Virginia and getting to teach at a school down there for like a week, and that was pretty cool to see a different community.
Eighth graders going on the canoe trip later this week need to report to Mr. Lamar's room today with their lunch at 12:35.
Here is the schedule for band or orchestra for the practices that Miss Lapata's having. 7th grade for today. 7th grade string should be there at Mod 2. 6th grade band should be there at Mod 5-6. And 7th and 8th grade band and 7th and 8th grade band should be there Mod 9. And orchestra should be there Mod 10. Good morning, Dundalk Middle School. This is Riley. Make it a great day or not. This is Riley with a few words of wisdom. Archbishop Patrick Flores of San Antonio, Texas, understands what it means to be underprivileged. He was raised in a home without running water or electricity. As a child, he was not allowed into certain restaurants, theaters, or swimming pools because he was Mexican American. But he overcame this impoverished childhood and became a powerful force for good in America. Do you want more from your life? Then listen to what Flores has to say to you today. Through education and hard work, you can create a better life. Today, remember this: a good education opens doors to a better tomorrow. With something to think about, this is Riley. Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. Now here's Mr. Barish.
Morning, Team DMS. What Riley just said is completely accurate and something that we reinforce here to make sure every student is college and career ready, and why we want to make you all a globally competitive graduate. Again, education is the ticket to a brighter future for all of us. The more education that we have, the brighter future we will have. And right now, it's not too late to begin thinking about it, or not too early. We need to start thinking about it right now, because what you do today does impact who you are tomorrow. Students, this is a reminder that this is our last week of our late bus. This is the last week we will be offering a late bus. So for any students who plan to stay after this week, again, you either need to make arrangements for parents to pick you up, or you need to make arrangements to walk home. Again, we will not be offering an activity late bus. This is the last week for our activity late bus at Dundalk Middle School. Also want to remind students, today for 8th grade, it's the last official park testing day. So we want to wish all of our 8th grade students best of luck, and a reminder to 6th and 7th grade students that the expectation is that you are very quiet in the hallways in the classroom so 8th graders can have an optimal testing environment. Also, we want to wish our luck to all 6th and 7th grade students who will be involved in makeup testing today. Remember, students, you will be successful as long as you put forth your best effort. Do not get frustrated, and make sure, again, this is an opportunity for you to showcase what you've learned throughout the course of this year. So remember to be patient and demonstrate perseverance. A reminder that on Monday we will be off to observe Memorial Day. As we continue this week, students, it's imperative that you review your progress on BCPS 1. And again, in order to set goals for the remainder of the year, you need to make sure you're using your AL days to get work done, get caught up, to get ahead, do some enrichment, make up a test, or bring up a test grade. You need to make sure you use that to your advantage on the DMS AL days. Additionally, we want to make sure that each and every day, students, you are bringing your A game to school, and having excellent attendance and excellent attitude, and coming to school again and being able to apply yourself. And part of Team DMS will do whatever it takes to educate and inspire you to become a globally competitive graduate. A special shout out today goes to Miss Gibson and her team for their perseverance on getting us back on the morning announcements. As you can see, this is much more interactive. There we go. Give her a shout out. Much more interactive than having announcements on a PA system. So thank you again for Miss Gibson for your hard work to make sure we're back and up and running and back and better than ever. So this concludes my announcement. Back to Demetrius and Riley. Let's have a wonderful day. Oh, one additional announcement. Students, this is a reminder. Any student who's making a poor decision resulting in an in-school suspension or an out-of-school suspension, you do run the risk of not being able to participate in any end-of-year activities. So again, as we continue during these next 3-4 weeks of school, it is very important that you are SR squared in school. Thank you.
This is Demetrius.
And Riley.
And
Fred.
And Fred. Have a terrific Tuesday.
And morning testing groups need to remember to restart the computers before testing.